What's going on, positive people? Today we're playing some warlock, and I won't lie to you, I tried a ton of different exotics and I was a little underwhelmed. I'm no warlock main, but it just didn't feel nearly as fun to me or as powerful as both the Titan and the Hunter. Now I'm sure some of you are rolling your eyes like saying, tell me about it, but it's true. And that being said, that doesn't make it not fun. It just didn't feel nearly as powerful. It did feel a lot like the Heart of Endless Light kind of Titan vibes, where you're constantly slinging all of your abilities, jolting, casting your super every couple of minutes. It did feel very interactive. You're spamming buttons left and right, and you're constantly killing tons of groups of ads. It just didn't feel nearly as strong when it came to the yellow bars aspect of it, or the survivability in general, because our exotic doesn't heal us, as opposed to the other options of which we chose in Titan and Hunter. Before we get into it, I know I posted a video yesterday on Arc Titan, so that video will be in the description if you want to check it out. Also, we got Arc Hunter coming probably tomorrow, and then we'll move on to Void and Solar following that. Be sure to sub so you don't miss out on all the content, and I surely do appreciate it. Anyways, the exotic we're using is the Crown of Tempest. I did give Falling Sunstar a shot, and it was fairly close for like a while. To be honest, if you're using an exotic like one of these here, then it will be just fine for you. It makes ionic traces, and if you're solo and there's plenty of ads to clear, Fallen Sunstar might even be better for the solo player. If there are other people that are killing all the ads as well as you, then you're going to miss out a lot with the Fallen Sunstar, and it's going to fall real short real fast. And so the Crown of Tempest is a lot higher on the consistency, especially when you're playing in groups, and you don't even have to get kills or anything from it, and you don't have to use any exotics or anything. You just sling all of your abilities and it kind of just feeds into itself. That's why I liked it the most, because of its consistency level. Anyway, let's go get into the fragments, the aspects, and the mods that I'm using, and I'll provide a dim link in the comments for those that want it. I hope you guys enjoy. Peace. Let's jump right into it, shall we? Alright, we got Storm Trance, and I do recommend Storm Trance over Chaos Reach. I know the Chaos Reach is a little bit more fun, it feels a little bit more lethal, but using our exotic you actually get more extended time on your Storm Trance, and you'll have it all the time. This thing lasts an insane amount of time. If you're in a very high density place, like I was in the dungeon, that thing lasted for literally a minute. Got Healing Rift, I've got Burst Glide. We've got Chain Lightning because it is a smaller cooldown. We've got Pulse Grenades because they are my preference. They last a long time. They continuously jolt targets. And the more you jolt targets, the more ionic traces you get, which is great. Electrostatic Mine is our first aspect, followed by Lightning Surge. You want Lightning Surge so that you can do your little slide in and blink. And you want Electrostatic Mine because anytime that you kill a jolted or blinded target, which is very easy to do with this build, you'll get ionic traces, and ionic traces make you amplified, so you'll stay amplified all the time. Fragments, we do want to start with Spark of Resistance because we will be sliding into combatants. Spark of Shock, so that our arc grenades jolt, our pulse grenades jolt, and the reason we want them to jolt is because when you kill a jolted target, you'll get those ionic traces from your aspect. Then we've got Spark of Ions. Defeating a jolted target creates another ionic trace. This is more energy coming back towards you for your cooldowns. And then I have Spark of Feedback. It's great for the extra resilience. This one is not necessary. I had this exact same lineup on my Titan, but this one is not necessary. I like the extra resilience stat, but with this being said, you don't actually need it. You can definitely, you could either go with Spark of Magnitude, or you can go with Spark of Beacons, depending on if you're using a arc special weapon, like maybe a fusion rifle or a shotgun or so forth. The reason I actually say Spark of Beacons is because it creates a blinding explosion, blinding the ads around them, but when you kill those blinded ads, you'll continuously get ionic traces from your Electrostatic Mine. Going over the mods, starting with the helmet, I've got two hands-on, mainly because I will be using my melee anytime that it's available, and in addition to that, they are cheaper this particular season, thanks to the artifact. In our hands, I've got Impact Induction, which will cause damage with our melee and makes our grenade cooldown a little bit faster. I've got Heavy-Handed to create us an orb on the melee kill. And then I've got Melee Kickstart. This will give us a little boost to our melee energy whenever we use our melee. You could change this one out for Momentum Transfer, which says whenever you do damage with your grenade, you get melee energy. They would also feed into each other. I just found Melee Kickstart to give me that little boost of energy to my melee real quick, and then I don't know, it just kind of works out for me. Moving on to the boots, when you pick up an orb, it reduces your melee cooldown and it reduces your grenade cooldown, gives you a little bit of health in the process. So basically what's going on is when you slide in, you get a big melee kill, you'll create an orb, you'll pick it up, you'll get a little bit of health back, and you'll reduce all your cooldowns for your melee itself using melee kickstart and invigoration, and then you'll get additional energy for your grenade using impact induction and innervation. Then finally, if you ever decide to put down your rift, maybe you've used all of your abilities, you need a little bit of extra energy, you've got outreach and bomber, which will reduce your melee and your grenade cooldown, and then you've got distribution, which will reduce all your cooldowns. So it's a little bit of like everything's trying to feed into cooldown reduction, getting energy back for your abilities. Quick look at the artifact based around arc and melee, which is both right here available to us. Electric armor, which says you stay amplified longer while you're in an arc subclass. You will be amplified nearly all the time as long as you're continuously getting kills. You've got Thunderous Retort, which says while you're amplified, your arc super does bonus damage, which is fantastic because our super is lasting double the amount of time, which is fantastic. You gain damage resistance while you're amplified, again very easy. And then lightning strikes twice will give you additional grenade energy after you throw an arc grenade, but as long as you're getting arc final blows, it extends the duration of the benefit, so you can continuously get grenade energy over and over and over. Then we've got Shock and Awe, which says arc final blows while you're amplified, which again, we're staying amplified, will summon a burst of lightning that damages and jolts targets. This is great for Warlock because all those jolt targets give us ionic traces thanks to our aspect, and then that in turn gives us more energy. So everything's just feeding into more energy, more energy, more energy. Thanks again for watching. Hope you guys had a great time. Hope you guys enjoyed the build. It wasn't the most powerful thing in the game, but it was a pretty good little Warlock build put together. Make sure you drop a sub down below and put the notifications on, because tomorrow I'll be releasing the Arc Hunter build, and it's got to be the strongest build in the game. And I mean across all subclasses, Arc Hunter's got to be one of the most strongest builds in the game, and I mean that with everything. I truly believe it. So make sure you guys stay tuned for tomorrow. Anyways, I love you all. Peace.